So YLM is about providing opportunities for people and just bringing positivity and good energy. Because I feel like a lot of people don't believe they can be great, so they never will be great. One thing about me, I believe I'm gonna be great, and I know I'm gonna be great.
Amazing podcast, man. We got a special episode with my guy Avon Johnson. It's our first time doing it virtual. So yeah, you're making history right here, man.
I love it.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed.
Glad to hear that. So we know you went to school at Murrah, went to Jackson State, Colin, now you at MC. Just walk us through the whole process about you going to Murrah and then
Mhm.
Colin, Jackson State, etc.
All right, so to start off going to Murrah, like I didn't do a situation where as a basketball player, I went to another school for basketball. I stayed in Murrah District. I was like, I'm gonna go to Murrah and I'm gonna try to make it work. So my freshman year, I made varsity, but I really didn't play. I played on the freshman team. I averaged 20. We didn't win the championship. And so my sophomore year, I stayed down. We had a lot of people transfer from Murrah because we had a coaching change. Coach Riley left and we got Coach JJ. And so my sophomore year, that was a big year for me because that's the year I happened to lose my mom mid-season. And so some might say that, I got more opportunities because they happened, but I took advantage of that. We started off the year 8-8 and we finished 20-11 and we lost in the state championship. Then my junior year, that was the COVID season where we couldn't have fans. And at Murrah, our season happened to get cut short because we caught COVID right before the district tournament. That was your senior year, we was in the same district. And so we weren't even able to compete in the district tournament or the playoffs. So they cut my junior year short. And my senior year, that was the first year they started allowing people back. I had been in the lab and I was number 6 in the state. And I went crazy. I earned a Division I scholarship to Jackson State University. So then going to Jackson State University as a freshman, we only had 2 freshmen. It was just me and Kiwi.
Yep.
So it was only me and Kiwi, and we only had 2 sophomores, which was Coty Young and Jamie Mitchell. So we had a older team full of older, established guys, and I was 170 wet coming out of high school. So it was pretty rough for me. Then I also had a position change. I played the wing in high school, but Jackson State was like they could see me being more like a forward that also extends to the wing at times. So just that position change, me being smaller, me being younger, me not being as developed, it kind of I struggled my freshman year, and I struggled just being on the HBCU campus, like being at Jackson State. It was hard to stay focused. It's hard not to go out some nights when you got to be up at 5 a.m. for weights. And when I was seeing things not really going my way on the court, I got involved in campus life. And so after my freshman season, I ended up transferring to Colin because I was just like, I feel like I need to develop as a player. I feel like I need that opportunity. Coach Sanders at Colin had reached out to me. He was like, "This is a great opportunity for you." We only had 2 sophomores and all freshmen, me and Devin Carter.
Mhm.
And I feel like me and Devin Carter, we led that team. We had the best team on paper, but we didn't mix right, and we had some situations. But situations happen when you're an athlete and you're on a team. And so we didn't finish how we wanted to, but I still feel like it was a great year and I developed a lot as a person. I became more humble. I became more grateful for opportunities because being at Colin, you're in the middle of nowhere. You got to drive 15 minutes to get something to eat. Like we had curfew. Um, it was real strict. So it definitely humbled me as a person. And I feel like it developed me as a person and it really helped me become a man. So then I transferred back to Jackson State because I was just like, I feel like I'm good enough now. Let's go see what that's talking about. I didn't like the offers that I had. I had a couple of Division 2 and Division 3 offers, but I was like, I know I'm a Division 1 player, so let's go see. And well, it didn't go as planned, but as a man, I can admit that. Um, and just as a man, I had to work a job last summer while being a Division 1 athlete. So we practicing 4 to 5 hours a day because we got weights, we got individual workouts, and we got team workouts. And then I'm going to get on the clock from 3 to 11, being right back up at 4:45 for weights. And so that was a problem. But I worked hard and things just didn't go my way. And so now I'm in Mississippi College.
Yeah.
I still got 2 years of eligibility. I got a degree. Um, and this is just my opportunity. I feel like it was God because I had gave up basketball. I had my post already in my drafts on Instagram where I was gonna say goodbye to basketball. I walked at senior night at Jackson State last year because I was done with basketball. I was gonna accept a job as a coach and as a teacher in my alma mater, Murrah High School, and I was gonna let basketball go. As soon as I was gonna, accept that job at Murrah, I get a call from my high school coach, Coach JJ. He like, hey, Coach Brooks just hit me up from MC. Like, what you trying to do? He like, at least hear him out. I know you think you finna give it up, but hear him out. He like, you only 21. You got 2 years left to play. You gonna regret it when it's gone. And so that's pretty much my basketball journey. I'm looking forward to this year. I feel like I got a great opportunity ahead of me. I feel like I've been putting the necessary work in. And yeah,
Okay, that's a story you just told us right there, man.
yeah.
But speaking about basketball, how did basketball shape you into the person that you are today? You mentioned a couple things ain't go your way. How did you take that and keep moving forward?
I feel like as athletes, especially basketball players, basketball sets you up for life. Especially coming from Mississippi, we not a lot of us not gonna go pro, but a lot of us can be ready to go into the workforce, ready to go into our respective field because you face adversity every day. Your coach is not gonna be on your side every day. The ref's not gonna be on your side in the games. You ain't even gonna see eye to eye with your teammates all the time. So that prepares you for life, being able to admit that you're wrong. I feel like accountability is something big in the world right now that people can't take. So being able to say, I wasn't good enough today, or I didn't work as hard as I can, just being able to admit to your wrongs and also being able to take criticism, being able to set goals and strive for them. Like all this applies to life. Like we do it for basketball, but it also applies to life and also just being able to grind. Like one thing about basketball always been like a mental thing for me. Like it helps my mental, it keeps me calm and it just gives me something to strive for. And in life, you need things to strive for.
Yeah, that's good. And what did you get your degree in?
So I got my bachelor's in biology pre-physical therapy.
Okay. And what you getting your grad degree in?
So So as a high school senior, when I signed to Jackson State, I knew I wanted to go to Jackson State for basketball. And so I just chose biology because I felt like it was the best option. And I had just did a project on it for my college and career readiness class. But after spending the 3 years, because I graduated early, after spending 3 years pursuing biology and, I had an internship and I didn't like it. Like I left it early and all. So just doing that when I got to graduate school, I'm like, yeah, I can't go into biology. So I've switched over to athletic administration because I want to become an athletic director one day. And also, I just want to coach to start off.
Okay, okay. And that's really good because we need coaches who have played the game, know the game, and knows that it's bigger than basketball and everything. And it's a couple coaches like that, but it's not a lot of them and stuff. And I know you'll be a good coach if you pursue, continue to pursue that after you leave MC. But let's talk about your life at Jackson State. You said you got involved, you know, with the campus life and everything. And I know you crossed and became a noob, became a Kappa, you know what I'm saying? Ain't
Sir.
nothing, you know. Yeah, you followed the Ice Cold Brothers at Alpha Phi Alpha, but y'all cool. But what made you want to become a part of the Greek life and the Divine Nine at Jackson State?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I honestly feel as if I'm an example for student athletes. I feel like as student athletes, we don't really do much. For example, at Jackson State, most of my teammates wouldn't come with me to events that wasn't parties or other sporting events. So if I wanted to go to this panel that Mr. Jackson State or Mr. Sophomore is having, they like, nah, I'm not really interested in it. Or they like, nah, I'm not really interested in all that other stuff. And I wanted to show student athletes like the ball gonna stop bouncing and you really want to be involved. Like you want to have been involved and built connections outside of just your sport because like life is deeper than sports, especially with people who get degrees in non-related sports fields. And so what made me want to join the Divine Nine. So my freshman year, Jackson State had this famous water crisis. I don't know if you've seen it, but like my water was the same color of my skin. Like my shower wasn't working some days. So I was having to get buckets of water and clean myself with a towel out
Yeah.
of a bucket of water and a bar of soap. And so when all that was happening, like the Delta Delta chapter at Kappa Alpha Psi at Jackson State, they was helping people get waters. They was putting work in. And not to say the other orgs wasn't neither, but those are the ones that stuck out to me.
Yeah.
And also, the coach that recruited me to Jackson State University, Kason Burke, he's a member of the Delta Delta chapter, Kappa Alpha Psi. He's just a great example of, a great example of achievement, which is our purpose. And he's just a great example of a man, a coach, somebody who has played sports. And he's somebody that made that sacrifice that most people are not making. Like, let me join Greek life as an athlete. He joined Greek life as an athlete that was, actually getting in the game. Like I redshirted this year and joined the Divine Nine, but he did it as somebody who was playing, and it still helps him to this day. And he joined 15 years ago. See,
Hmm.
people don't want to make, their sacrifice sometimes because they're just thinking about now. But what about 10 to 15 years from now when you want to, do something bigger in life and you might need a little assistance? Now you can reach out to your brothers or even like you. So you a member of Alpha Phi Alpha and I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, but I know you a member of the Divine Nine. So that means you a different type of brother. So that means, you
Yeah.
solid, like I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind helping you.
We still, yeah, yeah.
And so I really just wanted to be that example to like kids and athletes in general. Like no matter what you go through, no matter how good or bad you are in your sport, and no matter what life throws at you, like it's okay to join something that's bigger than you because you know we have to make change in the world. That's something that I'm big on now.
Yeah.
Like I joined a plethora of organizations outside of Kappa Alpha Psi at Jackson State, like Men of Excellence. I joined the Blue Streak Mentoring. I was in the Student Athlete Advisory Committee because I just wanted to be active and I wanted to bring change.
Yes, you hit the nail on the coffin right there. The reason I joined Alpha was because I was influenced at Hines by, I didn't play that much at Hines, it was situational, but outside of basketball, the people that helped me were Alphas. Mr. Cole, he helped me a lot and influenced me on about what school I wanted to go to, and I just wanted to be put in that position to help other people growing up. So yeah, that's a very good reason and to join the Divine Nine and stuff. But you said you like to make changes and stuff. We're gonna go to your YLM. You like me. Well, how did that come about, man? I know you just started it. You had an event with free haircuts, had a basketball camp at Murrah. Just tell us about how all that went down and your future plans with it. I really love seeing that too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So basically, how YLM came about. So I lost my mom at 15. And so, my mom, she had a life insurance policy in place. I knew that when I turned 21, which I turned 21 April 2nd this year, I knew that once I turned 21, I'm finna get a little bread in my pocket.
Hmm.
I feel like I had to do something impactful with that money. And so all these years leading up to now, I was like, what can I do impactful that can not only bring me money back, but it be something that I'm passionate about.
Hmm.
And so, like I said, I joined all these organizations last year while pursuing Greek life, but I actually found passion in it. And so I'm like, I love all this going on, but I want to do more. Like I love being a part of these orgs, but I want to do more. And so when I had this conversation with somebody, they was like, you should look into a nonprofit. So then I started doing research. As a biology major, my senior year, we had to do a lot of research. So I was having to do research anyway. So I'm big on research. I was researching and I'm like, I want to do something for kids in Jackson. I want to help them out. I want to I want to make them do community service. I want to inspire them. I want to pay for some things they may not be able to pay for. Because I know when I was in high school, after I lost my mama, I really couldn't pay for nothing. Like fundraiser with basketball is how I pay my dues, or things of that nature is how I got things done. But just having money, like it ain't like that. Like we in Jackson, everybody don't have it like that. And so my best friend, who is also the co-founder of YLM, her name's Sanaya Griffin. She did the Black and Gold pageant,
Yeah.
Delta Phi chapter at Jackson State, and she ended up winning it. And so they had to have a little initiative for the pageant. They had to have an initiative that they wanted to launch. Her initiative was You Look Like Me. It was YLM.
Hmm.
And so I already had almost everything she said on a document without a name. So when she said all that on that stage while I'm there supporting my best friend, I'm like, I liked it. And so I just kept playing it. I kept playing it. And so then one day I just hit her up and I'm like, I'm thinking about starting a nonprofit organization. I want to do XYZ. Would you mind if I use YLM name and you come be a part of this with me? And she was just like, yeah. But YLM still was just a thought. Like we had the name, we had the initiative of all that, but it was a thought. You know, a lot of people have $1 million dreams, but they don't make it happen. You can go to almost every person in the world right now that got a way they can make change, a way they can get out the hood,
Yeah.
all that, but they never do the necessary stuff. And I had been mentioning YLM to people. I used it, while I'm trying to get online for Kappa. I'm like, yeah, I'm finna start this nonprofit. So everybody texting me to check on me. They like, can't wait to see your nonprofit. Can't wait to see your nonprofit. Months and months going by, and I still haven't started it for real.
Mhm.
And so I ended up going to the Career and Sports Forum for the NCAA in Indianapolis, Indiana. I was representing Jackson State, but I also represented Mississippi College because that's where I was signed to at the time. And it was just a lot of love in the environment, a lot of inspiration. We had a lot of guest speakers. We in Indiana, and 3 out of the 4 guest speakers was from Mississippi. I'm like, Mississippi is amazing. People look at us as a low, poor, dumb state,
Got the
but
brightest
like, we was
mind,
popping it. You
greatest
feel me?
effort. You know,
And
yeah.
so that really inspired me. And when I came back from Indiana, I had all those people texting me about my nonprofit, like, you better do it, you better do it. And so I took the next steps. I went on Google, I went on TikTok, I went on YouTube, I did all that research. I work at Domino's. One thing about it, I'm a delivery driver, so I just be sending my car researching stuff. So I'm researching, how do I start a nonprofit? How do I start a nonprofit? I'm asking people. Matt Riley, he got React. He's been a great resource for me. He helped me to get a lot of the starting steps done. We had lunch or whatever and chopped it up. He gave me some good advice, and he just always have checked in with me. And so I went on this site and I got it done. I got our LLC.
Mhm.
I did our state paperwork. I did our legal paperwork. And then, I got it started. I went on Wix.com. I
Yeah.
got the website going. And I just got to drive. I feel like you have to have a drive to be able to do something like this. But now let me explain what YLM is, because I'm just telling you how I started it, but now I got to explain what it is.
Okay.
So YLM means you look like me. When I say you look like me, coming from Jackson, Mississippi, I just seen a statistic. It was like we're around 80% black. All of us look like each other, but we always bringing each other down. We the ones doing most of the crime on each other. We the ones that's making excuses to not be great. But we got other black people that's great. We got Barack Obama. We got all the other amazing African Americans. Why can't us from Jackson, Mississippi be like that? Like, I've been around Murrah High School every year since I graduated, and I've just watched the athletes and their drives go down and down. And it's not about the skill all the time. I don't care if y'all can win games, but especially if we winning, minimal games, we should be excelling in the classroom, or we should be, trying to go to college and all of that. And it just wasn't there. I don't see the spark there with the kids no more. I don't see a lot of guidance coming from just others in the kids' lives. And so that's why I'm like, well, I'm finna start Wild Lemon. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so Wild Lemon means you look like me. And it's not only for high school kids. So with college kids, I just attended Jackson State University. I just graduated in 3 years. People was looking at me crazy because I graduated in 3 years. And because I got like my life set out how I wanted, they like, that's amazing. And I'm like, yes, it's amazing, but also we should have more people that know what they want to do. We should have more people that's getting into internships. I had a lot of people that's finna graduate, haven't done an internship, don't know what they want to do next. They just in college to party, have fun, make friends, join the Divine Nine, some of them. And I feel like it's a lot of people that got college degrees that ain't doing nothing, that's working at Walmart and all these other places. And I know I'm not trying to knock Walmart, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I shouldn't have a biology degree working at Walmart at 30. Now, when you first graduate, I know it can be hard to find jobs. If I graduated at 22, I should be able to have something by like 25 to 26, doing
Yeah.
something good with my degree. But because people not hip on getting internships or those connections, like, yeah, everybody run into somebody that probably got some money or probably can help them out. but do you check back in with them often? Do you ask them, can we go to lunch sometimes? Even if they too busy to help you, do you ask for another resource that they could provide for you? Like, so things like that, that's what YLM is about. So YLM is about providing opportunities for people and just bringing positivity and good energy. Because I feel like a lot of people don't believe they can be great, so they never will be great. One thing about me, I believe I'm gonna be great, and I know I'm gonna be great.
Exactly.
And so for our high school kids, we have services where we're gonna provide tutoring for them. We're gonna get them GPAs up because that GPA, how you gonna get that scholarship to college? So we're gonna get that GPA up and we're gonna get that ACT score up. So we got ACT preparatory. We're gonna have mentorship. I feel like mentorship helped me get through a lot. Yeah, basketball coaches and teammates being there for me, it's okay, but my mentor is my old African American studies teacher. He's been here for me, and he's probably one of the biggest inspirational people in my life. And just having mentors and somebody who actually cares about you and genuinely wants the best for you, especially outside of just what you do in your day-to-day life, is amazing. So we're gonna provide mentorship to the high school kids from active college students who kind of where they want to be. Like, you want to go to college, or if you want to go to trade school to get into something, I can find you a mentor in that area. And
Yeah.
also community service.
Mhm.
Like, community service is big. I feel like I didn't learn about it until college because I was just a basketball player. But community service is amazing. You can make a difference in your community and you get blessed for that. And it just feels good to make a difference. And also, we just provide all information on options after high school for so college, trade school. If you want to go to the army and stuff, like, we can help you get signed up and get in a position for that. We provide financial assistance for them. So if you can't afford to pay to take the ACT again, but you want a better score, like, we got you. If you can't pay for your college application, like, we got you. You want to go on a trip to a college, like, we'll help make that possible for you. That's what we want to do for the high school kids. I now for my college kids, it's like you gonna help me make this possible for the high school kids, and I'm gonna help you too. So I'm gonna find you opportunities for internships and jobs. Like, it's a lot of career fairs and job fairs that happen in the city that's not just with schools. They be having them at the convention complex, and then we just have a lot of connections and people who want to help YLM. I have a whole list of contacts. When I tell them about YLM, they like, I want to help any way possible. It ain't always about money. It's just about being able to pick up their phone and be like, listen, I got this engineering major right here that's looking for a job next year. Do you know anybody with some openings? And then boom, like, putting people on.
Yeah.
And also just putting people on in their respective majors. Like, one of my best friends, he's a journalism media studies major. So he's like, how am I gonna help the kids with all that stuff I just said for the high school kids? And I'm like, well, YLM got a website and you can write the articles for our website. So then when you want to go to an internship or to a job, you could be like, well, I have been writing all these articles on this website for YLM, and I could provide that letter showing the proof that, yeah, he's done that for my nonprofit, and I ain't even paid him. I've provided him service hours for it, but he
Yeah.
genuinely did that, and he's worked on his craft, and he's in position to be able to do the job that you need him to do. So just putting people on however they need it, like, it's room for everybody. And we just want to make a difference and really bring hope in the city of Jackson. And that's what led me to do my first two events that I did. And it was really like an advertising type of thing because we really not fully started up yet, but we're fully starting up in the next 2 weeks where we're gonna start accepting kids because we already accepting the volunteers and the college students, but we haven't started really accepting kids. So the back to school bash. One thing about me, when I get a haircut, I feel good.
Yeah.
Go be around women when I was in grade school. I gotta look good, gotta have my fresh first day fit,
Yeah.
gotta have my little school supply, have a little extra little pencil or two. So I was like, let's do something good for the kids and get them free haircuts. What's crazy, my last two graduations from Jackson State and Colin, I did not have a haircut. That's crazy, right?
Okay.
And and one of the times I just genuinely didn't make time, but one of the times, like, I didn't have the money and I didn't want to ask nobody for it. So I was like, other people be in these same situations. I want a haircut, I want to look good, but my mama and my daddy can't pay for it. Like, my guardian can't pay for it. I can't pay for it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get about 6 to 7 barbers together, and we just gonna have an event where we just gonna give out free haircuts for like 4 to 5 hours. And while we giving those out, get you a school supplier too. We gonna have a food truck. We had a little Italian ice truck out there. And so that's what the back to school bash was. It was just good vibes, haircuts, school supplies. We also had health screenings. Parents, get your blood pressure checked while your kid getting their haircut.
Yeah.
And so, like, that was just the beginning. and we got a couple sign-ups, we got a couple connections, a couple contacts, and we did some good for the community. The back to school camp, this is a little deeper for me because I'm an athlete, I'm a basketball player. All
Yeah.
my life I always seen older players, host their own camp. And I was like, I could have just said a Von Johnson basketball camp, but I have a nonprofit organization. Why not put my nonprofit organization's name on it? And so recently, like I mentioned, Matt Riley, he's a mentor to me. He's a good connection with me. Matt Riley and Coach Brent, they got a camp coming up this Saturday, like
It's
August
terrible.
9th.
Yeah, I'll
But it's
be.
a top 40 camp.
Yeah.
And so when I looked at that list, we only got one player from JPS on there. It ain't like how it was when I was in school, when
And
my
when I was
senior
in
year, we
school, it was
had
about more than half. It was,
out of
Jackson
the
was
top
decent.
15, out of the top 15 in my class, about nine of us was in the Jackson metro area. So just to see how we're kind of falling off talent wise, I don't want the kids to get discouraged. And so
Yeah.
that's why I said, like, well, let me make this count for them. And also, I just wanted to get them school supplies and inspire them. Like I said, the guest speakers at some of these experiences I've been to have inspired me. They leave me with a lot of quotes, and those quotes help. It resonate. Like I said, that trip is the reason why YLM is even a thing, just because of one guest speaker. So you never know what a guest speaker can do for somebody. And like I said, YLM is also about putting people on around you. My best friend and my line brother, Jared Peterson, is Mr. Jackson State University right now. He's willing to help me, so I'm willing to help him. He need to look good. He need to do a certain number of events. He need to be active in the community. Come speak at my basketball camp and inspire these kids. And now I'm gonna make sure that my photographer and videographer get you right while you're doing this, so you can have content to post, but you also just help these kids. Them
Mm.
kids were so engaged when he was talking to them. Also, a brother Alpha Phi Alpha, Jason Gibson, he Delta Phi. He came and spoke at the event. He's a professional speaker. He has a very busy schedule, but he like, I love what you're doing. I would love to speak at your event when I reached out to him. And he inspired those kids. And he didn't even talk no more than 15 to 20 minutes. He devoted 15 to 20 minutes of his life to come speak to some kids, and he inspired them. And we devoted 4 to 5 hours of our life to having that camp. And those kids, every kid I asked had a blast. They love the bags, they love the food, they got the scrimmage, they got to play ones.
Yeah.
They got to do some skill work, they got to do some defensive slides. We had an inflatable coal in there where we gave them some health information, like just doing things like that in the community because it's not being done.
Hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong, the kids going to practice every day, that's fun.
Yeah.
But to have a camp on the weekend
Mhm.
is free, because most camps do still
Now
happen.
you gotta pay.
They
Yeah.
not free though. I see a camp every time I open up Instagram. $40, $50. I know when I was in high school, I didn't have $40, $50 for no camp.
Not at all.
So just to do something like that, that's just something that I've always wanted to do. And so to be able to make it happen, like I said, I know that I want to make change, and you just gotta put your foot down and make it happen.
Exactly, man. I love what you're doing, especially with the kids, because that's something I'm very passionate about. Because I've been working with kids it's since I've been in college for sure. And that's one thing I try to keep their minds open because they all just know one thing. And I
Mm.
tell them about like especially athletes, you can go to school, you can go to trade, you don't even have to go to college, you can go to trade school. It's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do. And I really like what you're doing, and especially getting the whole community involved and giving back because that's something I believe we should do. So yeah, that's something I believe we should do and keep going and just giving back. And if you need me for anything, you can let me know because I love what you're doing. I really do. And you got my support 1,000%, bro. For real. 1,000%.
I appreciate that, man. Like I said, it's good to show the kids, positive examples of people. Like, everybody know my story. I don't have parents. I don't have I don't have a big family. I've had multiple reasons to give up. I was on a college basketball team where I wasn't playing. I could have easily quit. Or I didn't have many offers coming out of Colin. I reached out to Jackson State to come back. They didn't come get me. So it
Yeah.
was just things like that. I could have been gave up. I could have been crashed out, like people say nowadays, crashing out or doing things I ain't got no business doing in the streets,
Mm.
all of that. But no, I'm still like I'm gonna be great regardless because it's so many ways that you could be great, and there's so many kids that I know that look up to me specifically from real high school, but also just kids on social media or kids who just know me. Like
Yeah.
they look up to you, so you can help them out. One of my teammates from real, he let me know straight up, Vaughn, I don't want to go to college. Vaughn, I don't want to play basketball no more. But guess what though? I still want to be something in life. And I'm like, and I'm still gonna be here for you. Don't think that I'm gonna stop checking in on you because you don't play for my school no more and you don't play for a school no more. Like
Right.
every player I've ever played with at Murrah, and they can tell you this. I check up on all of them often, whether it was the upperclassmen from my freshman year or the lower classmen from my senior year or the kids that been there my freshman and sophomore year because I always work out with them in the off season.
Yeah.
Like I'm a resource for all those kids, and I want to be a resource to many more kids, and that's what YLM is trying to be about.
Hmm. Yeah, I really appreciate what you're doing. We finna run out of time. So, is there anything you want to say before we go ahead and head out, bro?
Follow you look like me dot Inc on Instagram. If you wanna make change in the community, if you want to be a part of YLM, you don't have to be in Jackson. If you just want to mentor somebody or provide information to me and assistance to me, go to youlooklikeme.org and sign up. We need all the help we can receive. If you want to help, there's no reason you shouldn't be helping for real. I did the big part by starting it. I just need some help.
Y'all heard him. Y'all go support my guy, ULM, and just pour into him, and he gonna pour into the community. We're gonna make big things happen, man. I appreciate you for coming. I love what you're doing again. You are the inspiration to many, and it's an inspiration to me as well for me to keep going and doing what I'm doing. And I just want to see great things ahead, man. You know how many y'all keep your heads up, attitudes down, man.
Yes, sir.